So, part two. You've seen some of the issues they had in part one, and we're going to look to try and fix those right now in part two.
So, starting out with a fresh canvas, we're going to introduce our quick buy options. These will be placed at the very top before everything else, as they will bypass any of the customer information required. Make your guest checkout the most prominent option. Nearly half of websites don't do this, and not having one at all will cause unnecessary abandoned carts. Let's increase the font size to make for easier reading. And seeing as this is the first step, let's make the customer be aware of that. Let's curve the corners so it's consistent, the input field border clearer, darker, followed by changing the continue button to be green, so that the customer has a clear focal point they want to progress. Bring the focus back to the step that we're on by adding a drop shadow. Reduce the opacity of the remaining steps. Lastly, let's add a sticky order summary box. That way the customer can reassure themselves every step of the way if they need to. On to the next step. All fields are clearly laid out. Nothing hidden. There's an overstate, or if you're on mobile, an active state, along with a verification check icon and a green border to reassure the customer is progressing nicely. But an absolute must is having a checkbox to allow the customer to have the same billing information as the delivery information. Let's also have it pre-selected, as most customers will have the same billing address. If the customer leaves it selected and continues, we can bypass the billing information and go straight to the payment section. So on the payment section, let's change that awful place order button that they had.
Now, as you can see, I've not reinvented the wheel, I've not created an award-winning visual, I've just taken what they currently had and tweaked it into a more modern flow. This is what customers will most likely expect, especially on mobile. And I'm sure if they implemented these changes, they'd see a huge spike in their conversion rate, which for us at the Real Agency is our main focus.